Hey everybody, it's Matt Shue from Upright Health, and I'm here with Josh Hatch. And today we are talking about how stretching, tissue work, and strengthening all go together. So a lot of times you'll hear me refer to this as stretch, smash, or strengthen. And last week Josh and I were talking about things we had observed with clients and how it relates to this stretch, smash, or strengthen mentality. And I guess maybe philosophy is a better word, and how it relates to the people we work with. So Josh, last week, do you remember the client we were talking about?
So I don't remember the particular client we were talking about, but I think a common kind of theme that I've seen, and I think you agree with me, is a lot of the time when somebody first comes in and they're having some type of issue or problem, some tissue work and some stretching combined can kind of, gain some range of motion in the joint that we're looking to, make more healthy. But you get to a point when you need something else, and that's when strengthening that muscle or, that joint really comes into play. And I think that if you work too long on just stretching and tissue work, then you'll kind of just hit a plateau and you won't get the relief or the results that you're really looking for.
So that's definitely something I've seen with clients that I've trained here. A lot of times somebody will come in and they'll say like, well, I'm super tight up in my shoulders, I'm super tight in my hips, and I've had a lot of massage work done. I do yoga, but things are super, super tight. Can you smash me in a different way that's going to make this loosen up? Mm-hmm. Right. So, as you know, I'm trained as a rolfer, and so there's a reputation that we're going to smash everything and make everything go away. But there's only so many different ways you can apply force to the body in different ways to get a result. If you keep smashing and there is no result, you probably have to do something different. And I think you've had clients with a stretching background, like yoga and Pilates.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely. That's another thing that I've seen a lot of is yoga and Pilates are great practices there, but they're very flexible, and a lot of them are strong in certain muscles. Maybe their butt is strong, their glutes are strong in a bridge, but can we necessarily use those glutes when we need to bend over and pick something up or squat down to the ground, right? So it becomes more of a movement integration of strengthening the movement and using the right muscles and kicking them on, and then just getting stronger as a unit, as your body.
I think one of the things that both of us have seen is that a lot of people who have been doing a lot of flexibility training, everyone's always trying to touch their toes or touch the floor and get really low. And either they're sacrificing spinal position, which means they're kind of doing this kind of stuff to get down. That's typically the men, or they're maintaining that spinal position, but they're doing those kinds of forward folds so much that they've basically lost the ability to use their hamstrings and their butt muscles correctly to actually hinge and pick something up off the floor with any stability or any strength from their backside. So in those cases, those people might still feel really tight even though they're stretching and they're foam rolling and all that. They might still feel tight in their hamstrings and their butt, but really what ends up helping relieve that protective tension is strength, right? Is building strength.
Yes. And it really is amazing to see how, just strength training for a few weeks, will really kind of just sometimes, start to give some instant relief, and we'll just start to just get healthier overall.
Yeah. So I think our whole mentality here, our whole philosophy is figuring out what the person needs at the time. There are some people who can be, super, super strong, and they maybe tighten things up too much, and then in that case, maybe smashing is a really good idea for them. Sometimes, they're really, really flexible. They've smashed and stretched a lot, and in that case, they really need to be thinking about strengthening. So when you're thinking about your own body and your own life and your own direction with your body, you need to kind of figure out where your, I don't want to say the word weakness because it's not quite weakness, but the area you're not addressing, right? If your flexibility is there, if your tissues are all loosened up because you've been getting them massaged all the time, you've been massaging them yourself all the time, if those things are taken care of, you definitely need to then think about what's happening on the strength side of this whole equation, right? So I think that's probably the biggest takeaway that we've noticed and the thing that we were talking about in the last week. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that sums it up perfectly.
Okay, so that's it. So think about strength. If you've already got the smashing and the stretching under control, think about strength and how that can affect you, your joints, and your overall life. And please remember that pain sucks.
Life shouldn't.